Hello. Hi guys, good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well. Hi. How's it going? Shui, Sean, welcome back, Mr. Ray as well. Good to see you, gentlemen. Or ladies, I guess. Doesn't matter who or what you are. Welcome to today's FPL stream. We're going to actually go through some of the results as well, but I want to actually, now we're getting into transfer territory, and with people maybe having two transfers. Maybe you've already used one to bank a bit of money, or you've probably done maybe a Ben Rama switch or something like that. Let's really start to look at some transfer targets, I think, is what I want to look at today. So we'll have a review. You guys can post your scores as well and talk about your game weeks. And then we're going to look forward to the next few games. Hey, Shui, yeah, I thought it was you as Borrow, because it synced up, you see. But yeah, we'll talk about transfers, when people might be doing stuff. I still want to also point out about the international rules for the red list countries. That hasn't changed, guys. That is still like the same. No, I don't believe any red countries have gone to amber or whatever color of the rainbow that they want to use to not have quarantine. And unless some sort of deal gets done, or unless the Premier League, because the problem that we've got, so we'll cover just the international thing right now. So as you know, South American countries at the end of pretty much the end of September, October, November, these months, South Americans are going to have to go and do World Cup qualifiers. Salah going to play for Egypt and stuff. The Premier League have come out and said we're not letting them go, but then FIFA have come out and said you are letting them go, or we're going to ban them. So the first bit of advice is what I've done. I've used one of my 2 free transfers already, but I think I'm going to bank the other one, because Martinez plays for Argentina, Rafinha plays for Brazil. You know, as much as maybe you're looking at my team and you're thinking Barnes has got to go, or maybe Grealish should go, or maybe Shaw should get swapped out. I can't take transfers, because if Martinez goes, for example, I don't have a goalkeeper. So that's one thing. Before we get into transfer targets, let's actually really think of transfers itself. And one of the key things is your team full of like South Americans? Because if it is, that could be problem number one. Because it's not just this month. It's I can't remember what I posted. I think it's game week 4 and 5, and then it's something like 8 and 9 and 12 and 13. It's pretty difficult. So I do want to talk about some players like Harrison, who have actually dropped in price to 5.9, which I think makes them even great value, but we'll get into that later. We'll just catch up to see and have a quick review of game week 2 as well. Denver, hey, welcome back, buddy. I'm doing well. How you feeling with the Ronaldo transfer news, Denver? Could be in. Scholz's come out and he said, I quote, he knows we are here. So we'll see. Simicus is not playing. Sure, he's very bad and you have no defense. How dare you? How dare you? Look at this. This is a defense. I've got Kufal. What are you talking about? I have massive defense. CR7 Man United tried to hijack the deal. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. Sean thinks it's a good idea to have 2 transfers after bridges in case. Yep. I completely agree. Hi, welcome, buddy. International break is worth wait and see. Completely agree. Hey, Matt, welcome back, pal. Good to see you, mate. Shaw will start scoring FPLs for sure. He was just unlucky. Told me to sell, so I'm bringing Ben Rama. Never gonna happen. And you're under 2,000. Wow, that's pretty good. But it's not sustainable if you're gonna be selling Sun and things like that. Or maybe it is. That's FPL. You never fully know. Hey, Adam, welcome, buddy. Good to see you, mate. And Krista, a member of the old guard as well. Good to see you back, buddy. So let's have a quick review. 82 points. Solid again. And fun enough, I mentioned this as well on the Scout stream I did on Monday. And just to let you guys know, I will be on there again next Monday with Ted. Honestly, it's been really great talking to, like, I privately chat to Ted. He's a really cool guy, and even after the stream we were chatting about the transfers we were going to make. It's really cool for me out in Taiwan. I don't have that. I don't have people here to talk FPL about it to you guys, right? So Anyway, the point I was going to make is I've mentioned this before about the not having Bruno and Salah, and this was the game week. The first game week, they both bang. My theory pre-season was if you've got both of them and they both bang, yeah, it'll hurt. But if the one that you don't have doesn't do anything, you should be fine. And that's what's happened to me. 82 points. I've gone from like 1.6 million to 560k, which after that first crazy game week, I don't think that's too bad. And, you know, from number 1 to number 1 million, if you take out the people who've already played like their triple captain and their bench boost, for example, there's something like 30 points between everyone. It's like crazy close. 56 was the average, 82 was the score. So Martinez, lucky with not giving away a penalty, I guess. Trent and Tsimikas, wonderful. Shaw with his, I'll be honest, it was a cheeky bonus points, wasn't it, at the end of the day? Rafinha, I think he deserves that 7 points there. Salah doing nothing. Son. Now, I did have an interesting discussion about things like stats. So, yeah, Son and stats is like Vardy and stats. It's not imperative for a player like Son. So, the argument I made as well for that is he was one-on-one in one of his opportunities, but he didn't take a shot. He tried to cut it back, which was the poor decision to make. Usually he just smashes the bottom corner. But that wouldn't come up on his stats, right? Grealish with 8 points. Barnes, disappointing. I'm not just disappointed in Barnes. Leicester as a whole. But it's tough to say. When you get an early red card like that, you just can't judge everything on a team when you've got 10 men. You just can't. Ings with 8, another goal, and bonus. You can see here 2 bonus. He's got 3 bonus points in 2 games, but that is what he does. People are saying, oh, I don't know if I should keep Ings even for Brentford. You know, he's only had like 2 shots and 2 goals and gets bonus. But that is what Ings does. That is what he did at Southampton. He'd get a goal and take bonus. He's like the best striker to do that. But speaking of best strikers, Antonio, wow. 13 points against Newcastle, 16 points against Leicester. And he doesn't even look like slowing down. Absolutely incredible from the man. And I left 5 points on the bench because I thought Leicester were going to do better. They got the red card. So I've lost 3 points there between Barnes and Kufal. And if I would have played him, I wouldn't have played Shaw, and it'd been 1 point. So it's not too bad. But going to I had 2 free transfers, like a lot of you guys will have as well. If you do follow me on Twitter, I did mention when I did make the move. And it's not particularly interesting, but as you can see from my bench, I have a little bit of a problem with this gentleman here called Veltman. Deadline passes. Oh, by the way, did you know he's in isolation? He might have been in contact with COVID, so isolation. Okay, game week 1 doesn't play. Game week 2, oh no, he's still going to be out. And then it comes out, oh, he doesn't look like he'll be back before the international break. He went out. Cody came in. So I know he's got Manchester United, but we all know now, I'm a big fan of Traore. I think he's looked really good in the first 2 game weeks. He just needs that end product. But I'm also looking at the fixtures, and until the first wildcard, let's say I play that wildcard game week 7, seems to be the popular time between game week 7 and 8, or between 8 and 9. A Wolves player here can just see me through. If he plays, great. If he doesn't, that's also great. He's a 4.5 million defender, and I don't think you get as nailed as Connor Cody. But I look at my team. And you guys can give your opinion as well. And I think you'll probably point out the issues. I'm going to quote issues because they're not massive issues. You're probably thinking Martinez long term, but I'm going to probably sell him to get $1 million. It is possible. But it's Martinez, right? You're probably looking at Barnes, and you're probably thinking just go to Ben Rama, like everyone else on Twitter has done this week. You may be looking at Grealish, saying City spread the points around and things like that. And you're probably looking at Ings as well, saying, well, you know, he's got Chelsea and Everton and United and Spurs and Arsenal. And well, no, Arsenal is not a red fixture, but you get what I mean. Villa's fixtures turn as well. And you're probably looking at my team and saying, oh, you don't have Bruno. So I have done Cody in for Veltman just for a little bit of depth because I'm happy with that starting 11. The biggest one that I think you guys will agree in my starting 11 right now is Barnes. Leicester haven't looked particularly great. He doesn't look particularly fit, but he's going to get fitter. and he's got Norwich. Now, Perez is suspended, so that's one less player that can come in for Barnes. Vestergaard is out, which means a switch of formation is unlikely as well. So I do think he plays, and I just, similar to why I've still got Jack Grealish here right now, Arsenal at home, Arsenal right now look shocking. City are like fantastic, like they always are. Grealish might not play, this is true, but I'm not ready to make the move that I want to make. Now, here's what I've penciled in so far. The moves that I'm considering after the international break is Barnes to Traore of Wolves and Grealish to Mason Mount. Now, I've sang Mason Mount's praises in pre-season. I said he really popped up in like all the stats of all the players for any price range, all the way up to 100 million value, right? But 12.5 is the highest in FPL. Mason Mount was like in the top 3 to top 5 for like every key stat. And with big Rom Lukaku up front, I just think that makes Mason Mount an even more attractive option. So I'm likely to roll a transfer now. I don't want to bring Traore now. He's got Manchester United. And I don't want to bring in Mason Mount right now because he's going to Liverpool, where I've got an Arsenal home fixture for City and a Norwich away fixture for Leicester. That's what's penciled in now. Of course, that can change because Rafinha might be ruled out because he says, no, I'm going to Brazil. Martinez might say, I can't let Argentina down. I'm going to Argentina, and I'm going to have to deal with that first. That does mean I do play Danny Ings against Chelsea if I move for Mount and I move for Traore. But that Traore move might actually be an Ings move to Calvert-Lewin. It depends how Watford look against Spurs. If Watford still look shocking and Wolves put in a decent performance against Manchester United, then that is the dependent one for that one for me there. So see what you guys think. I don't think there's going to be a lot of disagreement in the sense if you look at my team and you're probably thinking Barnes is the issue. Ings long term, Grealish could be an issue. I mean, I know Grealish City were disappointing game week 1, but 74 minutes, he comes off, and you know what you get with City? It's so many people selling Mahrez. I completely understand. If I was to sell Grealish because I'm worried about minutes, or if you're to sell Mahrez because you're worried about minutes, I completely get it. It's a valid point. I'm just going to take that risk because I think he plays. I don't think Kevin De Bruyne is ready yet. I think Gabriel Jesus, if you're in like a draft team or something like that, I think Gabriel Jesus was fantastic in that Norwich game. I think he plays on the right or the left. It's difficult, but I just think Grealish plays. If you've got Mahrez, it's a 50-50. Just like with every Manchester City game. It's, of course, Grealish is 50-50. I'm not going to pretend that he's more nailed than anyone else. But yeah. We'll have a quick look back at the game week and some of the things I noticed as well. But this is how I'm setting up. You can see Son is my captain, Antonio is my vice. That could switch, but I have said before, guys, and again, I don't think a lot of you guys are going to disagree. I personally prefer captaining midfielders because there's more chances of points. For example, if I get a clean sheet, that's 2 extra points. 1 point for the clean sheet, doubled because he's your captain. He gets another 2 points for every goal. It gets just things like that. Palace have looked really bad. If Antonio gets 13 against Newcastle and 16 against Leicester, albeit 10-man Leicester, I can see him getting a goal. But I can see Son getting maybe more than that against Watford. It's close. It's really close. I might make that call tomorrow. It wasn't looking good for Son because Son came off early. I said in my tweets as well, he went from pre-match preparation, he went off early and he played the game with like some heavy strapping on his thigh or his hamstring. Apparently he's completely fine now. Harry Kane just banged in a brace in the Conference Europa qualifier. So people are getting excited to maybe have a punt, bringing Harry Kane is 12.3 million now. This is fantastic. I don't know if Harry Kane plays a Thursday than a Saturday. Is it Saturday that they're playing this time? No, Sunday. So that should be enough preparation and relaxation time for him. I'm not 100% sure. But for me, if Kane does or doesn't play, that doesn't affect my Son decision. I think Son is a fantastic player and a great FPL asset in his own right. Because if Kane doesn't play, Son plays down the middle. But Antonio's stats and when you watch him, his general presence on the pitch, he looks just phenomenal. And West Ham, this is the idea of they're a settled team. They've not gone out there and bought 3, 4, 5 new players. So, for example, Aston Villa, especially in game week 1, you could tell that it was a new team. This West Ham side had a fantastic season last season. They're all still pretty much in prime condition, and they're all really well gelled together. Same manager still there, same players are still there. They've all grown and growing together. You can just see them getting better and better. So it's going to be a late call on Antonio. I'll wait for today's press conferences. We might find out more. You know, if Nuno comes out, I don't think he will, but if Nuno comes out and says Harry Kane is our captain, he will be playing this Sunday, then I'm probably going to go Son, unless he says, oh, but Son's injured kind of thing. That's how I'm feeling at the moment for my lineup. Let's just catch up with the chat, see what people are saying. Salah and Barnes, the son of Rafinha, no hits. Salah and Barnes, the son of Denver, I'm going to say no. If you remember, my transfer idea last week was going to be Salah to Bruno because we didn't know about him playing for Egypt and because Bruno's got the better fixtures. But I said this. I know Leeds away is not an easy fixture, but Salah plays on the right and he's against a new Leeds left back. Leeds aren't looking particularly great defensively right now. He could have him on toast there, couldn't he? And then he's got Palace and Brentford. And if Palace are still this shocking by game week 5, so I know it's not great that you're attacking, and I like it. If you've got plans to bring Salah back in, then that's not. I don't think that's bad. But that's a short term. I mean, if you're like, I'm going to wildcard next week, or I'm going to wildcard in 2 weeks, I'll say, yeah, do it. If not, I wouldn't. Might be a really stupid question, but is that website in your description new? If it's the FPL Hall website, yeah, it's new this season. I made a little retro football / FPL website with some stuff for people to buy if they want it. I hate advertising, guys. I hate it. I don't like asking for likes. I don't like asking for subscribes and things like that. I hate it. And I know it's a massive downfall. I spent a lot of time and effort on that website. And I just don't advertise it. It's ridiculous. Not worried at all of the international selection issue. In fact, it would make a wildcard game for even more appealing. Yes, Mr. Ray, I think if it hits the fan, right, and people go to the international duty, I think there's going to be some wildcards popping off. What do I think about Jota and Tony for Benrahma and Bamford? Like it. I think it's a really good move. Benrahma he's been a popular choice this week for a good reason. Because West Ham look really great. Bamford's had a price drop, and look at the fixtures that they're about to have. Okay, Liverpool, take that out of the equation, but all the way up until game week 10. Burnley away, Newcastle, West Ham might be difficult, that one, but they do concede goals. Watford, Southampton, Wolves, and Norwich. I think that's a nice run. Really good for Leeds. Solid week. You only had 62, unfortunately. Still at 1.5 million. No, yeah, don't look at rank. Look, sure, I always tell this to people. Have your own goals. I start the season, my goal is to win FPL. I think that should be everybody's ultimate aim, right, when you start the season. But some people fight for mini leagues. So if you've got a bunch of mates, say there's like you and 5, 6 mates or whatever in a mini league, for sure, like I would probably focus on that. I've got a league here with a couple of buddies of mine, and yeah, I'd like to win that, but I go for overall rank personally. Hey, Sparta, welcome back, buddy. Son missing his partner in crime. Sonny's not a centre forward, but he's just still so good. What do you think about What do you think about Tony at the moment? You'll be dropping him next week. I said pre-season. I just don't back promoted players. I just don't. He was never going to come into the Premier League and keep up what he was doing in the Championship. It just wasn't going to happen. Scratch that, realize you're dropping Tony again. You can change the plan, Sean. You don't have to stick to the thing you posted a few weeks ago. Sonny's a really good option if Kane is back like he was. Top 5 scorer last year. I honestly, Kane or no Kane, I'm happy with Son. I don't think it's particularly negative to Son's FPL potential. You've bought in Kane this week. Is he a placeholder for Lukaku or Ronaldo? Be honest, Sparta. Wolves are looking good. You're bringing in their keeper. Sean, that was my idea. I did a mock wildcard, and just because of the fixtures I said about Wolves and bringing Traore, and why I brought in Cody, I think Sarr, that you said, was... If Martinez is out, he's gone for Sarr. I was going to go down for Sanchez. I just back Wolves, I think. Antonio Tadini. Who said that? I didn't say that, did I? Grealish potentially back against Arsenal. No, Arsenal looks so bad. As a United fans, you're not looking at FPL. Ronaldo could be on his way to United. Could be, or he's likely, unfortunately, on his way to Man City, buddy. What do you think about an early wildcard? Game week 4. It would address a lot of issues for your team by the looks of it. Hey, mister, what are you talking about? This team's fantastic. This team is excellent. Fantastic team. Not even considering a wild card. No, in all seriousness, if the international thing comes out and FIFA flexes the muscles and the players cave or the clubs cave, I might have to crack out a wild card because Rafinha and Martinez is gone. As in literally they will not be available to play. If I was to wildcard, though, I had a look at it. Rafinha to Harrison at 5.9 is a 0.6 million saving of money. And also, I think his potential's up there. I think Rafinha's the better player, but, I mean, if he's off in Brazil playing, what's the point in having him? You're going to try and hold your wildcard as long as you can. You always go early. Sean, I usually go early, but my method is, unfortunately, I usually wait. And even though it's early, I'll have a bad start to the season and I'll use it when I'm in trouble. And this season, I'm looking to use it, I think, between game week 7 and game week 8, when fixtures turn for clubs like United and Chelsea. And I'll make a more set team with the knowledge of having 7 weeks of data. But I'm going to do it no matter what, because I don't see using the wildcard just as a get out of jail free card. I also see it as a tool for me, or what I do see it as, is a tool for me to attack. So let's just say I have a fantastic next 4 game weeks. I'm getting 80 every week. I shoot up the rankings. I'm 40k and I'm loving life. I will still use my wildcard to try and get on early players that other people aren't getting on. Because I'm like, yeah, I usually use my wildcard too early, so I don't have the data, or I use it because my team is an absolute shambles and I need to sort it out. And I just think that's not the way to go. I think you should use it when you feel the winds are changing, to get on those players before anyone else can. You think Grealish will be fairly nailed? You know Pep is mental benching a 100 million player. But sometimes it's not actually about Pep. Because look at Ronaldo, for example. He's not the one that's gone out there and said, I want Ronaldo. So sometimes it's the higher ups that go out there and make the deal. I mean, I don't know if like the Man City owners are sat there going, oh, I really wanted Grealish, so I've gone out and bought him myself. I imagine Pep Guardiola has had a lot of say in that. But just because you've paid X amount of money does not mean that you have to play him all the time. Because their goal is to win the Champions League, right? So they're going to have to rotate if they want to do that. Mahrez didn't start last week. I think he'll play this week. Sean, there is no correlation with Pep Guardiola. No correlation at all. People did that with Foden, right? Foden's missed 2 games, or Mahrez was playing constantly. It's like Mahrez is not going to play this week, and he just kept playing. Kane starts. Matt thinks he starts as well. Just getting minutes up. I hope he does. Because I think that does make Son better. But no Kane, I don't think it makes Son a lot worse. Who do you think scores more points at the end of the season? Saw or Harrison or Cresswell? Cresswell. I'm going to go Cresswell and Harrison. I'm going to do that in reverse order there, Bobby. I think Cresswell gets the most, then Harrison, then Son. But I think it's going to be really close with Harrison and Cresswell. The only silver lining for your rank being 1.5 is last year you dropped to 4.2. Yeah, I was 4 million by like game week 8, game week 9. It's awful. You have to stick to your plan, Sean. No, be versatile. You're going to pick Son captain yourself with or without Kane. Watford at home is too good to turn down. I agree. We know how explosive they can be, plus that extra point potential and so on. Yep, I agree, Mr. A, completely. I think that's what you do as manager plan to stay to it. Yeah, I mean, I do. That's what I mean. That's why I said my plan on paper right now is Mount in and Traore in for Grealish and Barnes. But I would have liked to just do Simicast to Livramento, that Southampton defender. But I think I would value 2 transfers over this break more than having an extra bench option. It might not even be that nailed. Hey Luke, welcome back, mate. Love seeing me on other streams and not being afraid to be different on other experts. I'm not even an expert, mate. I'm just a long time lover and player of the game. But that was so weird though, because the stuff I've done pre-season and the stuff I've done on like Scout, I always saw myself as a bit of like just a normal player, like not particularly different or out there. It's like people are like, whoa, that's crazy. It's a crazy call. But I'll be back there on Monday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's going to be that time. No offense. You think you should try so? Oh no, Mr. A. There's no problems at all. Like there's opinions when they're done respectfully and stuff. There's no issues. I don't want people to come in the stream and just yes man me, because I ain't gonna yes man them, right? If someone posts their team, oh, post a team, let's have a look at your teams. I say okay, and I think it's not very good. I'm gonna say it, and I would hope other people would also give their opinions. That's the beauty of the game, right? That's the beauty of FPL. That's the beauty of football. To have your ideas, to say your opinions, and then see why you have that opinion. I've just seen Swanee as well post on the Discord early yesterday. The Harry Kane special price deal at 12.5. Swear you bringing in Ben Rama. The thing with Ben Rama, guys, is he just out. His stats aren't quite there. And when I watch him, I think Bowen looks great. I think Antonio looks absolutely phenomenal, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not saying it's not sustainable. He has been fantastic, and I think Crystal Palace at home is an incredible fixture for Ben Rama, and he's an amazing price. I think he's 6.3 now though. But with the direction I've got to go, I'm gonna take the punt and go Traore and Mount over Ben Rama. I think triple West Ham's iffy, because West Ham for me is one of those clubs that has a tendency to just plummet off a cliff. No, yes, man, you think no, Bruno's a train wreck. What's going all right so far? If you sold Son for Dele Alli, you could upgrade into Lukaku and Kane. True, Luke, but that's madness. That is crazy. I have done a Lukaku. Let me show you what I do for Lukaku. I did Martinez to I did Martinez to Sanchez, and I think did I keep him. Let me just change it. I did Ings to Lukaku. I must have forgot he played for Chelsea then. And then it was Son to Mount. There you go. And that's bang on the money. And I could do that after the international break. And it would be a -4, not -8, because obviously I've used one transfer already. So, but I'm losing Son. It's basically Son versus Lukaku in that situation. Just wasn't keen on it, if I'm honest. Let me just bring Lukaku back in. What was the other way I did it? I just have no goalkeeper. Play every week with 10 men. It was Grealish to a 5.5. But again, Gray maybe. So in this situation, again, it's a -4. Sanchez in for Martinez. Grealish out for someone like Gray or another 5.5 million. And then Lukaku in for Rings, and this would be for a -4. Again, look, you can see it's Bob on the money. Would be a -4 if I did it after the coming deadline. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Just not feeling it. Because I think I'm just set on Mount, I think. And I think, again, it gives me I just feel like it gives me a more wholesome team and wholesome squad, rather than every week I'd be benching Gray and starting Cody, or benching Cody and starting Gray. And I've still got Simicast on my bench. And I'm just like, do I want to go in week upon week upon week playing Gray or Mbuemo or anyone else who's Smith Rowe, who's now 5.4, who could lose his place to Erdegaard? Clich. No. It's a wild card job for me, that I think. I think ripping your team up for Lukaku, personally, is not something that I suggest. Keeping Barnes. Let's have no form. Yeah, Matt, I said earlier, I'm going to keep Barnes. I think he will play the next one. He's against Norwich. And he's getting fitter and fitter as we keep going. Seeing we captain Bruno this week. Well, Sean, you know that was my original thing. But this is what it comes down to. Salah is still going to have massive captaincy because people just auto-captain Salah. Liverpool fans and people who just auto-captain Salah, right? Bruno's captain is going to be through the roof. If Bruno doesn't beat like Son and Antonio, people like that, it's a win for everyone else. So, yeah, it's difficult. He's gonna have massive ownership. If I told you guys, I sat here with you last week and I said I could go Salah to Bruno here. I could, but then I thought Salah's got Leeds and then Palace and then Brentford, and I know Bruno next week's gonna have Newcastle, and that's massive. That is huge. That's gonna be another massive ownership. This is why I don't have both of them. That's why I was thinking go Salah, just go to Bruno. But I still believe, as an FPL asset, Salah is a better option than Bruno. Bruno is phenomenal. He's fantastic. For me, Salah just pips it. But, and again, future fixtures as well. City in 7, which people might wildcard. Watford, United, Brighton. But then United's fixtures, if we look at United's here from game week 5. So let's say I did Bruno to Salah just for these nice fixtures, Wolves and Newcastle. He's got West Ham. Villa is nice. Everton isn't that easy. Leicester away shouldn't be easy. Liverpool, Spurs, City. Nice game against Watford, Chelsea. And I see this, and Bruno and United can do it against anyone. I completely understand that. But with the limited data that we have, even though he's a great player, for me, it's one or the other, and Salah wins. That's why I'm going for Salah. 85 points for Alpha. Good. What did I get? 82. I can't remember. 82. 3 points. Just max bonus between us. That's what that is. When Ramos XGI is still like 2 or something, like that is even... If he is even overperforming. I think he is overperforming though. I'll have to check the scout members area. By the way, guys, if you are members of Scout, I've got a link somewhere to join, but I don't. I never post it 'cause I'm terrible at advertising. But one of the genuine things I really like about Fantasy Football Scouts members area isn't just like all the stats and tools and comparisons and stuff. I really like the public tables. That's the tables that people make. So, for example, you can look at defenders and forwards and midfielders and goalkeepers and look at the stats and stuff like that. But you can make your own tables and then you can share them. And that's what a lot of people on Fantasy Football Scout do. And they make really good ones. So, for example, they'll say attacking threat, but it won't be split with just forwards. They'll put forwards and midfielders and defenders all into this one table to see them all side by side. So if you're a member of Scout, definitely check out the public stats tables because some of them are, in my opinion, excellent. So one here at the top, shots, looks at shots, where they're from, inside the box, and accuracy. But it doesn't just separate them into positions, it's all the players. I can't find what I was looking for there. About his XGI there. I'd have to find it. You had Dele Alli says Gameweek 1. You think he might Spurs? So you think he might Suns points? Luke. That is something else, Luke. He's had fantastic positioning. Remember, Kane wasn't playing in those games. Just a reminder there, Luke. Who would I start of? Morpay or Luca Dean? Morpay still a doubt. Then I'd play Luca Dean. I know Morpay is a doubt. I'd play Luca Dean. If there's ever a doubt like that with one where they have missed the game, or the managers come out and actually say no, he's got a pretty good knock, he could miss the game. I'm just gonna side with the player that's fit in that situation and not give myself a headache. Yeah, I agree with Matt there. I don't think he's going to keep up with Son, but I think for 6.5 million, he could be massive. But like I said, Kane's not been playing. Ronaldo's coming, is he? To where? Man City? Oh, it says here we go. Could you imagine? I think it's fantastic. Is this, guys, just the craziest? Is this the craziest transfer window? Messi moving, Ronaldo moving, Ramos moving. I mean, it's all about PSG, but there's been a lot of crazy transfers happening. Wolves have made an official bid for Sven Botman. They'll be dancing on the streets of Wolverhampton. Manchester United have been in direct contact with Jorge Mendes, the agent of Ronaldo, since yesterday night for Cristiano Ronaldo comeback. Now the boards are talking about figures of deal, potential salary, and also a fee for Juventus. Manchester United are now seriously interested. You can understand, though, that you wouldn't have thought pre-season Ronaldo was itching to get out of Juventus. I didn't know that, so that's probably why no one was thinking about him. Because I wasn't. I thought he was just fine at Juventus. That could be massive, guys. Could be massive. Would love it. I'm not going to lie. To see Ronaldo back in the Premier League. Any quality players coming to the Premier League, I love it. You know, it makes the league better. I mean, I don't want Ronaldo to go to Man City. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not like, oh, I don't even particularly like Manchester United. I'm not my club's not in the Premier League, but I don't want him to go Man City just because that squad will just be ridiculous at Manchester City. It would be insane. I like it to be competitive. Imagine if he went to Liverpool, takes over from Firmino down the middle. Will be most captain overall, but Son Antonio will start. Yep, I agree, Matt. But here's the thing, right? Son is 25% owned. So he could be highly captained by the 25%. Don't think he goes as high as you think he does. 40% for Antonio, that could be an issue. Do I think Antonio will be over 100%? No. I think he's going to be highly owned. I think he's going to be highly captain, sorry. I I don't think he's going to go as high as that. Remember, we're in the YouTube bubble. We're in the Twitter bubble. I still think your average Joe is going to captain Bruno or Salah. Sean, public tables are great. You always sort it by top votes to see the best ones. I do the same thing, Sean. PSG renamed to Free SG. It's mental, right? Messi on a free, Ramos on a free, Donnarumma on a free, Wijnaldum on a free, right? Are they the four you're talking about? United fans are going to lose if he goes to City. And you know what, Matt? I've had my say on that. If you're a United fan and you call Ronaldo a snake, I just think it's wrong. I just do. It was 12 years ago. He went to Madrid. He became the world best player and what he is today, I think, at Real Madrid. If he goes to Man City, he goes to Man City. Sancho came through Manchester City. Dennis Law, Peter Schmeichel. I think Andy Cole did it as well. Don't pretend like people don't switch clubs like that. And it's not United to City. There's been a 12-year gap. I mean, come on. He still did great for you. He's still a legend just because he decides to go to City. It would be awkward. It would be weird, and I wouldn't like it. But I wouldn't be that upset about it. Rogue captain choice on Wilson from Finn. Difficult fixture. Southampton. I like it. Now, in previous weeks, we've talked about captaincy, and in the first couple of game weeks, I personally was just like, go with the herd. Stick with the pack before you branch out. It wasn't the week to go crazy captains last week, right? Because we had Salah at home to Burnley, and we had Bruno away to Southampton. Nice fixtures. This could be a game week to go cheeky with the captaincy. That's why I said I'm doing. I'll be boring. I'll captain Salah when he's got the fixture, which is almost every week, right? He's got Chelsea. That's not the fixture. So I will go elsewhere. So if there's a week, Finn, where I would say go for it, it would be this week. This is one of the weeks. You know, another example is game week 7. He's got Man City. I'm probably not going to captain Salah against Manchester City. I'm not going to captain him away at Manchester United. So game week 7, game week 9, I'm probably going to be a bit adventurous. I mean, it's not that adventurous captaining Heung-min Son, but you get my point. So if there's a week for a cheeky little captaincy on Wilson, why not? I just personally can't back Newcastle. And you'll lose it when he comes. Oh, if Ronaldo goes back to United, Denver, and they've snaked him, and they've snaked him from City as well, that's like a double win for United fans, right? It's like, oh my! If you'd have said to Manchester United, you're gonna sign Sancho and you're gonna bring back Ronaldo at the end of last season or in the summer, United fans would have laughed at me. They would have said, there's no way we have a transfer window when we bring in Varane, we bring in Sancho, and we bring home Ronaldo. If you'd have said that to United fans at the start of summer, they'd have wet themselves. It's been such a good summer for transfers. It's between United and City who Ronaldinho goes to. Oh, Ronaldinho? I didn't know he was back in the game. What a player he was, by the way. Raheem Sterling from Liverpool. Yeah. Well, you mean? Oh, you mean dodgy transfers? Liverpool to City, I think is fine. It's Liverpool and United that's an issue. Ronaldo was the worst before he left United. Ronaldo was the worst best before he left United. Denver, was the world best before he left United. Facts. Yeah, I think he did win the Ballon d'Or when he was there, didn't he? He was fantastic, but I think he became a legend from what he did at Real Madrid. Apologies for missing it. Salah to Son or Barnes to Rafinha or both. I didn't suggest that, Denver. I said about the fixtures with Salah, he's got Leeds and Palace and Brentford next. Suck it up for a week and just hold him. Unless you're going to wild card like next week or the week after, or you've got a plan to bring Salah back. Barnes to Rafinha, I would have said yes, but I've got Rafinha, but I've started the season with him. I'm still iffy on the international news, Denver. So if you go and waste a transfer on Barnes to Rafinha, and let's say Barnes blanks or Rafinha gets an assist, you're thinking, hey, this is fantastic. Breaking news, Rafinha can't play because of Brazil or whatever. It's just going to be annoying. Alpha's a Madrid fan since you were 8. My foreign team, when I was growing up, I always liked Juventus because of Del Piero. Don't know why. Here's a weird fact about me, guys. I went to the Nou Camp, or the Camp Nou, the Barcelona stadium, and from their club shop, I bought a Juventus shirt. Because obviously same sponsor, it was in the store. So I went to Barcelona, I went to the Nou Camp, and I bought myself a Juventus shirt. Loyalty. That's loyalty, guys. I stuck by my team. Doesn't matter where I am. I'm joking. I've actually got a wardrobe full of different shirts. This will sicken some of you guys. I have a Liverpool shirt and an Everton shirt. And I wear them with pride, guys. I don't pretend to be their fans. I'm not. I just like football shirts. United need a CDM. United can get... is it Camavinga? The young French one from, I think it's Rennes, right? From Rennes. For like 30 million. Sell Lingard. Get Ronaldo on a free or pay him a bit of money. Sell Lingard. Buy Camavinga. United's had just like the best transfer window in 20 years or whatever, right? As a Chelsea fan, you're buzzing. You sold so many of your loan army. Yeah, that's great. No problem, Denver. But some of those players like that Livramento going to Southampton, a few Chelsea fans were a bit upset about that. He was one for the future, I think. All right. Let's jump back in. Just last week, what do we see? Liverpool lucky to get a clean sheet. Burnley, I think, should have scored. I still wouldn't get rid of Liverpool. Fixtures are coming up. Villa 2, Newcastle 0. I actually think this is a little bit of a misleading scoreline. So I'll tell you the games that I watched. So you know I can watch pretty much all of them. You can see here on this side. I can watch them. And I do. So it's not just a highlights cut that I'm giving you. It's a full 90. So Aston Villa, Newcastle. I watched the 90. And I think this was a bit misleading. I think Newcastle looked actually pretty good. They had a penalty ruled out just for a very, 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 very close offside. This was what I would call a meaty game. I'm surprised that there were not red cards and stuff in this one. I really, really am. There were fouls everywhere. There was a couple of pushes and shoves. They were looking at a check that Wilson did on, I think it was Danny Ings, off the ball and stuff. They scored just on the half time. They tried to come back, they didn't, and then they got their second goal, which was, I think it was a penalty, wasn't it? So this was 2-0, but it wasn't bad from Newcastle. It wasn't particularly convincing from Aston Villa. I didn't watch the Palace-Brentford game. If you'd have asked me, Rob, which game's going to be 0-0 the weekend, I'd have told you it was going to be Crystal Palace and Brentford. Leeds to Everton 2, very interesting and entertaining fixture. Huge pressure, I think, for Leeds players because they're back in front of the crowd. Premier League football in Leeds for the first time in like 16 years. It was a really, really good game. And for me, Everton is a team that folds under pressure, or when they are 2-0 up, they're always a team for me that can concede and draw 2-2. They did really well under the pressure. So Leeds players have pressures because of their own fans, but it wasn't an easy crowd for Everton either. And this was a very, very even game. Leeds don't look great defensively. But to be honest, neither do Everton. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there who are Luka Dean owners and are itching to get rid of him. I can see why, but I still think there's some potential there. Now, it is in the fires, guys, that Neymar is pushing PSG to buy Richarlison if they sell Mbappe. That's a long shot, but if that's the case, then I still think DCL is a fantastic option. He could have had a hat trick. One of the opportunities came in really quick, and it was just a quick touch across the box from Calvert-Lewin, no luck. And Meslier made a save by sitting on the ball. Another one, he was one-on-one, and Meslier made a decent save, but Calvert-Lewin should have finished it. So it is promising for Calvert-Lewin in that one. Not much else there. Leeds, I don't think are as good as last season. Sorry. Man City 5, Norwich 0. I don't think we've learned anything from this game, guys. I could have tweeted out early telling everyone this game's going to finish minimum 4-0 Man City. It ended up 5. It was just a rout. It was, if I remember rightly, every single player of Manchester City except the goalkeeper had more time in the opposition half. That is how one-sided it was. And the only thing it did was prove that Manchester City spread everything. 1 goal, 1 goal, 1 goal, 1 goal, 2 assists, 1 assist, own goal. It's completely spread out. Brighton 2, Watford 0. I watched glimpses of this. I wasn't particularly interested, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't have any players from it. So I can't really tell you much about this. I saw the goals. It was a cracking header from Duffy. Watford, it's easy to say this, guys. It's easy to say the newly promoted sides don't look good enough. They didn't invest, or they don't look right, or they don't look ready, whatever. Watford and Norwich are just those teams that keep coming up and keep going down and keep coming up and keep going down that just don't look that good. They just don't. That's why Son's my captain. Southampton 1, United 1. It amazes me when I watch games that Bruno Fernandes still fight, like he could be on the left wing or the right wing, and no one picks him up. No one's like, guys, where's Bruno? Where's Fernandes? Should we? Oh, he's over there. He scored a goal. He should have got a return in that game. United should have won that. Southampton had like a couple of 5 to 10 minute spells when they were fantastic. They were pressing, they were pushing forward, they could have scored some goals. Armstrong had like 2 really good chances he should have scored. But the rest of the game was just dominated by United. Wolves 0, Spurs 1. Wolves, second most amount of shots. When I tweeted the picture of like the attacking threat, it was like 90% Wolves, 10% Spurs. Spurs are so lucky to come, in my opinion, so lucky to come away with a 1-0 win here. I can't believe Wolves did not score in that game. Spurs, like Liverpool, have been very lucky to keep 2 clean sheets. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. Arsenal look like they're a shambles. Chelsea should have won by more. Lukaku looks incredible. Mount looks incredible. Reece James looks fantastic. But be careful of rotation. Arsenal, not touching their players with a barge pole. West Ham, difficult to learn a lot of stuff here because a red card. But even before that red card, Leicester didn't look great. West Ham looked fantastic. We talked about West Ham earlier, and they're just a well-oiled machine. They're all used to each other. They look like they're enjoying the football. They look like they know what the system's supposed to be. There's an easy chance for these boys to get top 6 right now. I know it's only been 2 game weeks. I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but with the players that they have and the way that they've been playing since last season, I honestly think West Ham are looking like a solid side. So I cannot moan at people who have gone from Barnes to Benrahma, because I just can't, because he's getting the points. He's got a goal and assist, and West Ham look fantastic. So we'll come on to these games in a minute. Let me just catch up with the chat. Blows your mind that Varane couldn't get number 4 because Phil Jones still has it, and Jones refused to give it up. Is Ronaldo coming back to the Premier League? Yes, I think so. Can Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Antonio, and Bamford get the same points as Lukaku and Kane? Tough, Rudy. There's a price difference there, though. You know, when I was doing some wildcard tinkering, and I had a look at what Ted made as well, TED Talks, and he did one where he had 3 men up front, and it included Lukaku and Calvert-Lewin, I think Antonio as well. It looked awesome. I think a 4-3-3 could be a tasty wildcard. Martinez, lucky to not have a red card, you heard. So what happened is, it could have been a red card because it was a kick in the head, a knee in the head. So what had happened is, so you got the penalty area, right? So if I'm the goalkeeper, it's the left side on the line. The ball bounces and it goes up, and Wilson's running this way, but the ball bounces as Martinez jumps, and Wilson just like nicks it with his head. He like taps it away from him. So Martinez is already in the air trying to catch it with his knee up or get to it. Wilson knocks it out of the way and then he takes him out. It'd have been a harsh red. He's not. There's no forward momentum. He's not actively kicked him. He's got his knee up in that goalkeeper protection position kind of thing. And there's more. It's more of a collide than him nailing him. On the Everton Leeds game, do you think Dean is worth holding? I do. I do think he is. Let's look at Everton's fixtures. I do think Luka Dean is worth holding. You must have other things. I know he frustrates FPL managers. I know that. I completely agree. But I still look at the fixtures. Brighton, Burnley, Villa, Norwich in the next 4. You must have other things to do. He's just that player that's going to frustrate you. I understand that. Completely get it. But I still think the potential's there. But Luca, if you're not fond of him and you think there's someone out there that you want to replace him with, him for sure. But it depends on how your team is looking. Justin, City not signing Ronaldo. They've pulled out. Nice. Score predictions at the end. You didn't show transfers based on my predictions. Wow. You can tell you support slightly a United tint there. You might move Benduena to Fornals, and then you need a defender. Should you get Kufal and have 3 West Ham or go early in a Wolves defender? I'd have to say West Ham. I'd have to say Kufal. He's here in my team. I think he's fantastic. I'd have to say that. It's all kicking off, guys. Is it next Friday it closes? When does the window close? I want to say next Friday. Trending in football on Twitter, guys, is what is happening. Look at this. Trending in football, what is happening? I can just completely agree with that sentiment right now. What is happening? That is nuts. Do you think it come? I think he'll come in as a forward though, guys, and I don't think people will get him. Oh, they would. Of course they would, because this is the problem with a team like United and people like you, Denver. You're just going to be like, Ronaldo, auto captain every week. Easy. 13 million. I don't care. He's in. And I like that because I think it adds some more strategy to the game. I think it adds more options to the game. You know, so people can't just be, oh, I'll tell you what, guys, Salah and Bruno, thank you very much. You're going to have to make decisions now. You've got Kane, you've got Son, you've got Lukaku, and you could have Ronaldo. FPL have to price him right. Now, if FPL pull off 12, let's say 12 million, if they do 11 or 11.5 to 12, 12.5 I think is too much. But if they price him, let's say 11 or 11.5, that's gonna force some sales of Salah and Bruno. You can't have 3 players at that price. Probably about 3 West Ham a bit. It's just for me. West Ham are a club that can just flick. The form could go down. They've looked good for almost a year now, though. You think 12.5? Yeah. So I think 11.5 to 12 is where it'll go. And it'll be a forward. So again, that should put people off, but it won't because it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo in Game Week 4 against United, 11.5 forward, the scenes. I'm not going to sit here, guys, and say I ain't tempted by that. But I think most FPL managers still will stick with Bruno. And if they put him as a midfielder, though, because Salah is a forward who's a midfielder, right? If they stuck him as a midfielder, now that is tasty. 12 million in midfield would turn some heads. All right, so early kickoff, first game of the week, City Arsenal. I'm going to say Man City 3-0 in this one. Arsenal might have a couple of players back. They've just beaten West Brom reserves like 6-0, but I don't care. Man City look fantastic. The points are going to be spread. If you ask me who's the highest scorer in this one, who's going to be, I don't know. probably someone like Diaz who's going to get like a goal and a clean sheet. But I think Mahrez could do it. Mahrez is that player who's going to get you 2 points or he's going to get you 22 points. But yeah, I think that's an easy City win for me. Villa Brentford, I'm going to go 2-0 Villa. Brentford, I think, I don't want to say get found out. I think that's a bit harsh. They've kept 2 clean sheets. They've looked quite solid. I think Villa are going to start to click. Brighton Everton is really interesting. I think this is going to be 1-1 or 1-0 Everton. This is a test to see if Everton can go to somewhere and get a result. It's a good fixture for, I think, both clubs because Everton concede. Brighton usually are solid defensively. They don't have all the players back. DCL's looking pretty good. I think this could be like a 1-1. That would be where I'm going on that one. Newcastle Southampton. It just depends for me. I can tell you how I think about Newcastle, but Southampton, who's going to come out? That game week 1 team or that game week 2? I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle. Norwich Leicester, I'm going to say 2-1 Leicester or 2-0 Leicester. Again, I'm not backing the promoted sides right now. I don't think they look particularly strong. West Ham Palace. Can Palace even get a goal? It feels like I'm just backing the home teams, but if we're honest, the home teams are the favourites in these games. West Ham Palace. I mean, West Ham win, guys. I'm not. I'm not saying it's not a West Ham win. I'm just counting how many. I'm not gonna go crazy. 10-0. I'm joking. 3-1. 3-1 West Ham for that one. Antonio 1 or 2 in that. Liverpool Chelsea. Tough. These ones are tough. It's going to be low scoring, I reckon. I reckon it could even be 1-0 Chelsea or 1-1. I think it's going to be one of them where neither team wants to lose this game. I'm going to say 1-1. Burnley Leeds. I say this every single week, guys. I don't know. Leeds, it could be 3-0 Burnley. It could be 3-0 Leeds, or it could be 3-3, or it could be 0-0. I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds. I'm going to go for Leeds on that one. Spurs Watford. I'm going to say no Kane, 2-0 Spurs. Yes, Kane, 3-0 Spurs. That's what I'm going to go for that one. Wolves and Manchester United. I think United are going to win this 2-0 or 2-1. That's what I'm going to go for. Players that I'm looking at in the fixtures then. So Man City earlier, I said probably a defender, but maybe someone like Mahrez. This one, I'm looking at Danny Ings. Star player for this one, I'll say Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Maybe it's something cheeky from Duffy for those 4.1 million lovers out there. This one, I'm going to say Wilson of Newcastle. This one, I'm going to say Jamie Vardy would be my one to watch in this. If you've got him as a placeholder for someone like Lukaku or Ronaldo, that would be great. I've still got Barnes, could do something. I think my hidden gem for this one, it's not hidden, but you know what I mean, would be Ricardo Pereira, the fullback. The one would be West Ham. I'm going to have to, okay, Antonio, Benrahma. I'm going to say Bowen. I think Bowen looks pretty impressive, but Antonio, okay. Liverpool, Chelsea, everyone's going to be watching Lukaku. I get it. But for both teams, Liverpool, you're looking, okay, Salah, Mane, Trent, Robbo, if he plays, fine. I get it. Chelsea, you're looking at Lukaku. You're probably looking at Mason Mount. Maybe you're looking at Reece James as well. But Chelsea defensively, I wouldn't go there just yet. They do get clean sheets, but they rotate. Burnley Leeds, you're looking at Bamford. You're looking at Rafinha. Keep an eye on Harrison. I just think 5.9 million is a really, really, really good deal for Harrison. I have Rafinha. If I was to wildcard right now, I'd probably do Rafinha out and Harrison in. There you go. Spurs Watford. Well, obviously, Son and Kane for that one. Also, keep an eye on Dele Alli. No Kane. Dele Alli would be great. Yes, Kane. Dele Alli, I don't know what he's going to do. He's been really attacking in that new... He even said after the Wolves game, he's got this new position thing that he's doing. But I don't know if that changes when he's got Harry Kane with him. Wolves United. Wolves, I'm looking at Traore. I've got Connor Cody, but I'm not looking at him for that. United, of course, Bruno Fernandes. I'm really interested to see if Sancho. That was a move I was going to make. I think he's 9.3 million now. That could turn into a bargain, guys. Can you imagine, like, Sancho up front on the wing with Ronaldo? For 9.3 million, I wouldn't have Ronaldo. I'll tell you that right now. I'd have Sancho. And the reason I was going to bring him in, the reason I haven't this week is because I saw him against Southampton, and he doesn't look there yet. He's not quite there. Captaincy options, I think they're pretty standard. Son, Bruno, Antonio would be my top 3 of the week. And I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for today. Is it mad to wildcard in Game Week 4? No, it's not. If you're thinking long term, obviously. Save your 2 transfers now. I'm doing the same thing. Hit the like button. Yes, if you want to. Will definitely be hokey pokey playing Ronaldo, Kane. Yeah, and I like that idea. Swap those big hitters around. Completely agree, Matt. Wilson replace Tony or Son replace Salah. Wilson replace Tony. Denver's going to be seeing Matt for Rivals on Elite FPL. Good. Oh, Rubber Ducky, good afternoon, buddy. But I'm just about to finish the stream. Any changes, guys, I'll do it on my Twitter, which is this at FPL Hall. Because obviously the deadline's tomorrow, 6 p.m. my time. So I'm going to obviously wait for all the press conferences, wait for all the team news before I do anything, really. So we'll see. But yeah, that wraps up, guys. Good luck. Maybe see you on Monday on the Fantasy Football Scout, 3 p.m. UK time. Confirmation? No way. Can't be that quick. No way. We'll check this, Denver. We'll check it. Cristiano told Jorge Mendes he's open to join Manchester United for incredible comeback. Contract to be sent in the next few hours. Manchester United discussing with Cristiano and Mendes deal until 2023. Man City never sent an official proposal. There you have it, guys. Happy weekend. You'll be chuffed if you're a United fan. Incredible. Take it easy, guys, and have a good one. Bye-bye.